want you to know that you never have to be alone. I want you to know someone's always here for you, and I hope you believe it's me. Yes, I hope you believe it's me. Oh, I hope you believe it's me. Well, hello everyone, and welcome to another edition of the Invisible Song Club. Happy New Year and all that. I hope you had a great Christmas, despite the preceding year. Hi, Angela. How are you?
Hi, Mark. I'm fine. Thank you. And hello, Song Club.
Hello, everyone.
All of our members. I hope everyone's doing well this new year.
Yes. I hope it gets better. I don't see how it could get worse. And I'll give it a little tease for the songs today. They were both written in 2020, and they seem to be influenced by that same year. So we'll have a look as we go. So first off, if you can, we'd pretty appreciate if you could like the video, whichever platform you're watching on. If you could subscribe, follow, and share, that would be great. Quick shout out to Shalim and Ron Zaragoza who have joined us already. So thank you very much, guys. Much appreciated. So this is the Invisible Song Club. What, Angela, is the Invisible Song Club?
Well, the Invisible Song Club, Mark, is very much like a book club. Last year, every week we were getting together. This year, every other week we're getting together. It gives us a little more time to listen to both songs. We review 2 songs every other week now. I'm getting very confused by that. Anyway, so it's just like a song club. We pick a couple of songs. The group will have a listen, review the songs, and come up with some comments about what they think about the music, and then we discuss it on Sunday.
Yes, and we find out. And it's worth actually mentioning again. I do this every episode, but Angela and I don't consult each other when we pick these songs. Angela's picked hers, and I picked mine because we really, really like the song. And the fact that there is a common thread between the two, it seemed, or it's fairly common, is purely coincidental.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that tends to happen, Mark. It surprises me.
Yeah.
I was just earlier that, we pick songs and they kind of have some sort of same theme going on, or a complementary theme. It's interesting.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of that it just harkens back to the human experience, right? People write songs about their own experiences, and we kind of all experience the same stuff generally. So, and there's only so much in the English language to describe how we're feeling. So yeah.
And it's as worth saying as well. I've got a couple of songs that are definitely influenced by this year, which will be released hopefully early next year, certainly the first quarter, if not the first half. We'll see how good I am at getting them recorded. I tend to
fantastic. Well, I love the theme song. The theme song is by Mark, everyone.
Thank you. I want you to know that it's by Mark David Stallard. That will kind of work there. You can take that both ways.
Yes, I want you to know. I don't write any songs, by the way. I'm not a musician. I definitely am just a fan. I'm a big music fan. I love music, and I'm just very opinionated. That's why I'm here.
Oh, I wouldn't say that. Yeah, and I think that's one of the good things about Angela and I doing this together is, apart from us both really liking to talk, but is that we do come from these different perspectives. I'm going to come from a musician's, songwriter's kind of perspective, and Angela's going to come from the audience's perspective. So hopefully that cover up. So
yeah, and even the way that we listen to music, which I think our audience members will feel the same way. We all listen to music differently, so we all take in the experience of any song differently. And that's why everybody's opinion is very invited here at the Invisible Song Club. All of your opinions matter, and there is no wrong opinion. So please give your opinions.
Indeed. And if a song is on this show, I just want to say, if we were Siskel and Ebert, the song is guaranteed to get at least one thumbs up. So it's going to be decent. It's going to be worth listening to. Okay, let's move on to the first song. And today we're going to do a song by Rob Frank. And what I'll do is I'll do a clip. I'll play a clip. It's only a 10-second clip because we're getting nabbed by the copyright Nazis on YouTube. So, 10-second clip. Hopefully it'll give you enough of a taste.
Everybody looks the same. Some days everybody has the same name.
Well, there it is. I'm going to be careful. I got to switch it back without starting the wrong thing. Okay, I'm going to make a change. Angela suggested that we switch to full screen mode when we do our little bit last week. So I'm just going to get the Daleks in view over there. All right, and I'm just going to switch to full screen, and I'll do the same with Angela, and hopefully then we won't see each other getting bored when the other's talking. Here we go. Okay. So my selection is Some Days by Rob Frank. Rob, actually, the way I discovered him is he actually contacted me to be to be on the Invisible Man show, which we've booked a date, and he sent me some songs, and I liked one of them. It just so happened I was looking for a song at that moment, and one popped up in my mailbox. So I listened to the songs, and this one really jumped out at me. So Some Days by Rob Frank, and he's in Ottawa. Let's see if I still have that webpage open. Yeah, so Rob is actually a multi-instrumentalist, singer-songwriter and producer, and he's an established composer spanning a variety of bands and solo projects. There was something on here that I wanted to read out. So while Rob's songs are rooted in rock, his approach to songwriting is often incorporates other styles that create something both unique and authentic. Now, I wanted to read that out specifically because to be fair, I don't really look up Angela's guests before I listen to their song. And this was the first time I had seen Rob, so I listened or heard of him. So I listened to the song and then I looked it up. So the comments that I make are before I read that. And I thought it fits in very well. So it starts off with a fuzzy introduction. Now, honestly, I can't really... make sure I'm in the right place. There's not enough quite to hear what the chord progressions are, so you're kind of straining a bit, and it fades in fairly quickly, and then you get the full force of the song. Now, it put me in mind that of a camera really high up in a movie. You know, you can see the camera's up, seeing a building down below, and then zooming in, and you can just like hear it like it's on a distant radio, zooming in through the window, and then you're in the studio. So that's what it brought up to me. Even though the song's not about that, that's the image I had when I heard the sounds. Now, all the instruments then coming together with the drums, and that was the drums at first sounded a little bit out of place. So at least it was unexpected, I would say, because it actually sounded like a surfer beat. We got this rock and roll song, and you almost got something that you would hear in the 1960s surfer song with that double tap on the snare. But when I first heard it, the thing that attracted me to it was actually that beat. It was something different. It was something unique. And also, actually, to be fair, the drums also kept my attention. Now, if you listen to the drums throughout, I honestly don't think the drummer takes a breath. He doesn't have a second to take a breath. He's all over the place, and it's not until the end that it slows down that he takes a breath. But listen to those drums. Those drums are absolutely... He's doing everything, and it's with the music. He's not going crazy. He's not doing an animal from the Muppets, if you remember him. He's not all over the place. Obviously very choreographed, it's not the right word, but very planned out. He knows exactly what he's doing, and it sounds absolutely wonderful. Now, when the solo guitar, while being a fast succession of, oh my God, I'm getting ahead of myself here, beg your pardon. I'm not, sorry. Yeah, so when there's a guitar solo in there, that's while it's being a fast succession of notes, or arpeggio, as they say. They follow the same pattern. I'm not a big fan of big improvised solos because you don't really know what's coming. But it started off and I thought, it's going to be one of those. But it was the same repeated pattern for each chord change, and it fitted. And by the time we were at the end of that, towards the end of the solo, I knew what was coming. And that actually made it satisfying. I didn't have to guess, where's it going? Is he just showing off? Very skillfully done. And the way that the solo ended as well, it kind of had a nice crescendo as it led in. As it concluded and gave us a very satisfying conclusion to the end of the solo, straight into the chorus, and we heard that really interesting chorus as well. Now, I really like the way that the melody of the chorus is handled. So rather than it coming back to the roots, as a lot of songs will do, you'll hear that a lot in country music, where it very predictably comes down. It actually goes up, and I didn't actually check to see where it goes up, but it didn't quite sound normally where one might go up, and it was just a little bit different, and it was very, very pleasing. And he does that in the middle of the chorus and at the end. So I thought that was very satisfying. But it doesn't quite give that conclusion that you might have if it went down to the roots. But that gave us enough tension to bring us back into the next verse and to continue. Now, there was a bit of a Stairway to Heaven-esque ending. There's a slow succession of notes. And there's a smooth, not that it was a copy by any means, I'm not saying that. But it had a smooth, emotional lead guitar, just very slow notes, just letting us know that the guitar was still there. Now, I think that the ending had a certain power to it, but I think it would have had more impact if that ending reflected the introduction rather than the fade, and maybe have that slow introduction at the beginning to give it a nice bookend. But having said that, still, I thoroughly enjoyed the song, which is why we're here. The lyrics are quite straightforward. It's clearly a glimpse into someone who's feeling alienated in a day-to-day routine, as well as with at least one personal relationship. Not dissimilar to what many songs that are coming out now, if not a direct commentary on the last year, is at least influenced by it. And there were some lines in there. The first verse, I think it is, if I can go back and confirm which one of those. Yep, the first verse summarizes the song quite nicely, and it just lets you know exactly what the themes are, exactly where it's going. So I think it's very carefully done. Sometimes I think I need a little something. Yeah, just a little something to ease my mind. Something to ease some of the pain and all of the guilt and shame when you are around, which kind of leads it on. Now, I think that the song doesn't really, just kind of tells about a snapshot in someone's life. There's no real start, middle, or end. So it doesn't have a positive ending in that regard. More of an explanation of how that person's feeling. Now, I feel that this song is a song that could very easily cross into other genres, particularly the different beat. I think it could very easily be a 1960s rock pop song. Like, Jerry and the Pacemakers could probably do a version of this song very well. Definitely there's some 80s punk or new wave in there as well, and I'm sure that you can come up with different ideas of different genres where this song could very easily lend itself. And on top of all that, there's actually a lot of room for multi-part harmonies as well. I could just hear some 3 or 4 parts. Mamas and papas may be seen joining in on the chorus. Anyhow, I may have gone a bit far with the mama papas thing, but those are my thoughts. Angela.
Wow, Mark. Holy, that was a lot to take in. And I don't know, this according to you, the song sounds like the Beach Boys. It sounds like the Mamas and the Papas. It sounds like Stairway to Heaven. Like, wow. Well, as usual, I'm not going to get too much into the construction of the song or anything technical about the song. That's not really where I'm coming from. But my impression, first of all, Rob Frank has a high-pitched voice. And I mentioned that because it's very much in contrast to the other song that we're reviewing, where Matt has a low voice. So Rob's got that high-pitched voice. The song to me sounded very punk in the beginning. Anyway, it was definitely a punk song. Meg White on drums, you know what I mean? Like, just really simple, very raw, and then it got weird because I was just enjoying the punk vibe of it and the simplicity of it, and then a little more than halfway through the song, a guitar solo comes in, which was actually really impressive, like a really impressive guitar solo. I was really enjoying that. That showed me some skill there, because there's not a lot of skill in doing a punk song. It's very raw and simple, and just a really good beat and a lot of fun. That's punk, and that's how the beginning of the song started out. And then, weirdly, at the end of the song, as Mark said, it got really dramatic. Like, so much drama closing up the song at the end. So we went from a punk song to a rock song to some kind of soundtrack drama at the end. It's an interesting song. It's about, I can't remember what the timestamp was on it, like 3.5 minutes. So it's kind of long, but it definitely has some depth to it. There's quite a bit going on, but I don't know if the song understands its identity. Seems to kind of be all over the place. Not that that's a bad thing, but it was definitely an interesting thing. So he says, some days it's hard to just be the same. Some days it's hard to not walk away. Okay, I just made the song sound really bad because I don't know how to sing. But those lyrics are just, as Mark said, the 2020 was a weird year. People got quite emotional throughout the year, and the lyrics and songs seem to speak to that, only because we know when it was written, right? So we're imagining that. So maybe we know too much knowing when it was written, but it kind of sounded that way to me. And the thing that I wanted to point out, because I kind of listen to these songs and review these songs while I'm doing things around the house, and I'm just playing it over the speaker. Because the song started out so simple, I'm thinking, telling a story in a music video, or telling a story on a soundtrack in a movie. It kind of had that vibe to it. It was, it seemed, the lyrics weren't complicated, but it sounded like it was telling some kind of a story. So anyway, overall, I'll leave it at that. I really like the song. I found it complicated, which makes me want to listen to it again. And it was well done. Well done, Rob Frank. Oh, by the way, Rob Frank, according to Mark, is from Ottawa, Ontario. So yeah, support indie music, guys, for sure. I got to figure out where the camera is.
Yeah, you know what? I'm just going to correct that for the English viewers. She meant to do that.
Oh.
It's just her.
Oh.
It's her Canadian accent. It just sounded rude.
Okay. What's the difference? I don't know what the difference is.
Well, this one. Well, that one. If you take that finger away, would mean the same thing in England. Oh, damn it! Oh, we just got censored. Sorry, everybody. Family show.
Mark.
Show. Well, you did it to the English viewers. Okay. And probably the Australian and the South African viewers, and everywhere. But
just pretend you were showing your boo-boo on your finger.
Indeed. Yes, that was what it was. Yeah, I was looking at it. It looked fine from where I was looking my angle. Okay, right. Let's. We often forget this, but let's do the. Instead of leaving all the comments to the end, let's do the comments for the Song Club members now. Let's do that. That's probably the best way to do it.
Okay.
So Ron's are. I'm going to read these in the order that they came in. So I know Ron, I saw, is going to contradict himself in a second, but well, not really. But so Ron Zaragoza says positive vibe in the song, vocals popped out nicely. I also like the band artwork. Ron seemed to like the helicopter view, or my big camera view, I think was what I was saying. And then Ron replied saying, "Never mind the positive vibe. I didn't have the lyrics in front of me." Yeah, of course. Just listening to the song, obviously I listened to it again and again, and Rob sent me the lyrics, so I had them in front of me. But yes, that was definitely a very positive vibe to the music. But it kind of works, I think. It kind of works now once you've had go look at the lyrics again. Anyhow, I've done my analysis. It's their turn. Right. Shalim says, Mark, amazing analysis. Thank you, Shalim. And I read that out for obvious reasons. Okay, so Shalim has got... Okay, so some days, explosive rock and roll, catchy, well-produced. There's a sense of dynamic range, especially as a song gets dramatically quiet toward the end. Doesn't sound exactly like what commercial radio plays, and that's a good thing. So long as indie radio plays it, you can get a digital... Oh, and then he's put the link in to where you can get the digital download on Amazon and iTunes. There we go. Yeah, that's the viewers or the members' comments, I should say. Okay, are we good for the next one?
Excellent. So would you like me to begin?
I will play the clip. I will do it last time. If I play the clip and then you can talk.
Okay.
Yep, I gotta make sure I get the right one in. There we go. A little bit more organized today. Okay. Okay, over to you, Angela.
It was a very short clip.
Yes, yeah. Well, like I said, I switched it down to a 10-second clip because we got dinged a couple of times on the last show.
Right. So I can sing it to you again. It kind of goes like this.
Oh, would you? Oh, by the way, we're looking for.
You cannot feel a lot of things you see and hear. Yeah.
We're looking for a backup vocalist on my band.
Not doing it justice. Matt Groopie has such an amazing voice.
If I can interrupt you there, I'd just like to offer you a job on my band because that's such a wonderful range.
Oh yeah, right. They'll throw tomatoes at us, Mark. Okay, so I know Matt Groopie as a Toronto and Thornhill, which is just north of Toronto, booker, DJ, and musician. He's been hosting a musicians jam in years in Thornhill and is very well known in the Toronto music scene. I'm familiar with his bands King Bees, Matt Groopie and the Bandits, and a band called Green Jelly, who focused on video to present their music and received a Grammy nomination for Best Long Form Video. So I've been following Matt for a while. I'm very interested in the stuff he does. He's always busy. He's always doing new things. He actually keeps coming up with new bands all the time. He just likes to keep playing music, and he is very, very active in the music scene and is very supportive of other musicians. And I always really appreciate when people are like that. Matt has come out with the Phoenix Complex, which is a new one-man pandemic project created by Matt Groopie. The new EP Crash and Burn was recorded in Matt's jam space while in quarantine and mixed by Saga bassist Dusty Chesterfield. So we all remember that amazing Canadian band Saga, correct? Right? I hope so. If not, maybe I should do a review on Saga. Anyway, Matt played every instrument, did all the vocals, wrote, produced, and engineered the song. The band has members lined up for when live shows come back. We'll keep our fingers crossed, Matt. I really hope that happens for you. Matt says a follow-up is ready in the works. So that's pretty cool. Crash and Burn's available for purchase at mattgroopie.bandcamp.com, along with the entire King Bees catalog, which was just released for the first time ever digitally. And actually, if you look for the Green Jelly music online, you'll find it hard to find. It's very rare, but it was amazing in its time. And yeah, so Matt's been involved in a lot of really cool projects. This particular song has heavy guitar and drums in the beginning, and kind of near the end of the song, he says "crash and burn" over and over again, and it's more of a danceable song. So it's a very rock and roll song in the beginning and turns into more of a danceable song near the end. Very, very interesting listening. I'm very impressed with Matt playing all the instruments and singing. He actually, let me see what I can read here. I'm looking at the wrong page, but he talked about one of his pages. There it is. He's the vocals, of course. He played guitar, bass, drums, keys, and percussion. So he does it all. Very talented man. And yeah, the fact that Dusty Chesterfield helped with the mix is pretty cool too. So overall, really good song. Really enjoyed it. There are 4 different songs on this EP. I recommend you check it out, and we will absolutely give you all of the links for this on the Song Club page and under the video on YouTube. So you go ahead, Mark.
Get my microphone turned up would help, wouldn't it? Okay, great. I'll get my... There we are. Okay, so this song was actually quite gripping. Actually, it was I asked Angela if we could do this one last because I'm going to give out spoilers. It actually has a little bit of a positive tinge to it, certainly with a little bit of hope. Whereas the other one, not so much. But I like to end things on a high, on a positive. So the song actually starts with a fuzzy electric guitar playing a few energetic chords. We can hear them very clearly. But the chord progression actually has a bit of a downturn. Now, I think it's in a major key, but it kind of has a downturn. I think it goes down rather than up before it loops, and it has kind of a minor feel to it. Again, I didn't try to sit down to figure out what those chords were, but that's kind of how it felt. It felt like a minor in a major key. The drums and the bass quickly come in, adding a foot tapping rhythm that kept up throughout the song. The lead guitar comes in subtly, which emphasizes the keynotes of the chord progression, so it doesn't overpower by any means, accenting it. Now, I really like what the drums are doing. There's a bit of a syncopated beat. It seems to be a double tap on the fourth beat, which is a little bit unusual. So it's kind of like two songs in a row where the drums have really snapped my attention there. Now I think that towards the end of the song, that double tap on the snare on the fourth beat is actually shared with the floor tom as well, adding a lot more emphasis to that beat. Now as the vocals for the verse comes in, the full kind of sound kind of drops a bit. The lyrics are clearly heard throughout the verse, although I did have trouble hearing the lyrics during the chorus, and I played it several times to try and pick up as much as I could. But yeah, it was a good. I mean, I was going to be listening to this multiple times anyway, so it was fine. I could definitely actually hear this on a soundtrack, actually for maybe a video game, a racing game or something. There's lots of energy in there. You can just feel like you're driving in a car, driving down this track or whatever, doing a rally. So lots of energy in it. I think it's very, for my ears anyway, be very marketable for something like that, or even a chase on a movie or something. Now, as for the theme of the song, I would say that it does seem to reflect what many of us have experienced last year, and it's only right that these songs are all coming out now, as many new songs are being recorded that having been written are being recorded now because they were written earlier. Now, there's a fresh lyrical line in the song that I really, really liked. It wasn't something that I've ever heard in a song before other than in a barn dance. There's get dizzy when I'm swinging all around, do-si-do until we hit the ground. I just thought that was a masterful piece of poetry in there that just stood out and made me feel like there's been some effort been put into these lyrics. Now, as it is a song that kind of first appears like it is a bit bleak, there is actually a hopeful message in it. It does the lyrics do conclude with, "We'll emerge from the ashes one day." Something, these bad things are happening around us, but we're going to come through this. It's not feel like we're crashing and burning, but we are going to get through this one day. So I think overall a great song. I've listened to both these songs actually I've listened to many times, and they still sound as fresh as when I first heard it. Anyhow, that's my thoughts. Angela, bring it back home.
Yeah, I think we picked a couple of good ones this Mark. I really enjoyed both of them as well. What's our membership saying?
Let's have a look. Give me a second so I'll catch up. It auto-scrolled. I'm going back. So Ron Zaragoza says, that song grabbed me, very hooky. Very hooky tunnel. That bass and drums section was banging. Oop. Let me make this bigger. That will help, I think. So nice. So Ron says, so nice song. I'm sorry? What's up?
Adjust your glasses.
Oh, why? What's wrong with them? No, it's so small. I got to get closer. So Schleem says, pretty good sound for a self-production, instantly appealing rock and roll with solid musicianship and vocals. Talented bloke as he played all the parts. The lyrics are almost like a prescription for these Trumpian times. To be free, to be free, you cannot fear. A lot of things you see in here, don't be afraid to look inside. That's where the demons like to hide. Like the first 2 songs, enough to buy the EP. And Ron says, I'm a fan.
Nice.
Did I miss anybody? I think that was it. There we go.
We encourage everyone to buy the EP.
Yeah, absolutely. Go buy it now. Do it now. Okay.
I think it's really nice that it was mentioned that it's a soft production. It's important to note that this is an EP. So if you're hearing anything when you're listening to it that makes it sound like it's just not a good recording, it's an EP. So, you know, it will become something in the future. Right now, Matt's publishing it so you can hear it, and he's doing it the only way he can. I mean, we're all locked down right now. So, yeah. No, I thought he did a really good job just as an EP. I think it's recorded really well, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, I think musicians are getting better the more they practice, and I think over the coming, even in the coming year, we'll see even more improvements. I did miss a comment actually from Ron, more of a question. So Ron Zaragoza says, Matt was in the band Green Jelly, ? Little Pigs Let Me In song, ? Do you know if that's true?
Yeah.
Yes, it is. Okay, perfect. There you go. Now you're on the answer to your question.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
There we go. That's all the comments.
It was very video heavy, that music. Yeah.
Okay, that's great. So I think we've actually come to the end of the show. I'd like to thank everybody for taking part, for listening. And yeah, don't forget, you can find out lots more about the Invisible Man, well, I guess brand. I guess we're a brand now, right? The Invisible Song Club. I host a show called the Invisible Man Show. Almost forgot what it was called. And Welcome to the Madhouse, which I host with Adam Feasy from Adam and the Hellcats. And you can find information right there. Right there, the Invisible Man dossier. Yep. And of course, Angela has her own project, Oh Just Eat It. And over to you, Angela. What's Oh Just Eat It about?
Oh Just Eat It is a blog that I started about 10, I guess we're getting into 11 years ago now. And I just promote Canadian indie music as much as I can. There is so much amazing indie music in Canada. We just have such a rich culture of music in this country, and people don't hear enough about it. So I do what I can to share, and hopefully you've now that you've heard about these 2 Canadian musicians that we've spoken about today, hopefully you'll go check them out because they need your support.
Absolutely.
And Mark, I wanted to make sure that we let people know that we will be back in 14 days, not in 1 week, but in 14 days. So the date is the 24th for our next show.
There we go. And if you check out, if you're not a member of the Invisible Song Club Facebook group, please go check that out, become a member. And we will be posting, we post there first when we've picked our songs for the upcoming show. Yes. And I just want to little shout out for the Invisible Man Show. We have Brandy Vizina, a country music great, definitely going to rock the world, the country music world, on the Invisible Man Show next Saturday at 2 p.m. Right to there on the Invisible Man Show Facebook page and YouTube channel. So thank you very much, everybody, for joining us. Look forward to seeing you next time in a couple of weeks. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. See if we can grow our membership, and so we can everybody can have their opinions heard on these great songs. Thank you very much. And we'll catch you later. Bye.
Thank you.